Hi, Katrina.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Looking at Your Fiddly Things. Let us in, let us have a little rummage about. Today we're going to talk about databases, database management. Now I know you're yawning going, oh my God, how bloody boring. But actually, database is almost like the engine room of your business. Without a good data collection place where all your gold is kept, you really are quite stuffed. And one of the biggest regrets I have in the last 30 years of business is not maintaining my database or even having a proper database from the beginning. And so now what's happened is I'm scrambling to put everything into a database and have everything in one place. But luckily for me, LinkedIn came around. So now I see that as my storage of all my contacts. At least I've got storage from the last 20 years there. So that's good. But still, you don't own that data. And you don't own the data on Facebook either. So the trick is, social media is fine, but the idea is to get them from those places into your central database. And then you own the data. You have that. You should have their permission too. So we won't go into all the legalities. You guys all know spam laws and privacy laws. And on your website now, you should have something called terms of service, a disclaimer, and some sort of privacy. So have a look on fiddlythings.com.au and you'll see our privacy terms of use and disclaimer. And you can, just make sure you've got something similar on your data collection philosophy and that protects customers, because we don't want spam. Spam is not what a database is for. What a database is for is to enhance the relationship you have with your customer. If a customer calls, and let's say they've been dealing with you for 5 years, here's what not to do. Hello, and they go, hello, I'm Katrina Farello, and they go, oh, hang on a moment, who? How do you spell that? R-I-E-L. Oh yes, I have it here. Now, what's your phone number? And so on. So we've all had these horrible experiences where they really don't know who we are. And so what I do is you want people to leave a message, you get their data, you look them up on your database and then ring them back. And then you say, hi there, Katrina, and you've got all their information in front of you. Whereas if you answer the phone, what happens is you're scrambling to try and work out who they are and how they spell everything so that you can get them up in your database so that you can be armed, ready for the call, and all the information's there of what they've purchased, who they are, whether it's their birthday today or not, etc. So anyway, database is your gold. It's the engine room to your business, and you've got to protect it with your life. Now, what I've found over the years, Joe, is that people don't maintain their database. So at a certain point, your data becomes null and void. You can't get any decent reports out of it. You can't, safely do a mail merge. You can't safely send out anything because you just haven't maintained it. So you really don't know where it's at. And this is one of the most important fiddly things any business can do, is maintain their data's integrity and keep it up to date. Because at the end of the day, Joe, shit in, shit out.
Exactly. That's totally correct, Katrina. And it really is the engine room of your business, because they're your peeps. They're your customers. They're your clients. You need to have that accurate information. Think of it like your friends. You've got a contact list with your friends. If you don't have their correct information, you can't reach them to be in contact with them. So if you don't have the current information and it's clean and tidy, meaning it's accurate in the system, how do you engage with your clients when you do get their message and look them up? All their information's wrong. They've moved somewhere else. The address is different. Phone number's different. They're no longer doing this line of business. They're doing something else. How do you engage with them when your information is inaccurate. So it's very important to have your database clean and tidy, meaning everything is correct and synced in. So you can do a mail out piece, you can do an email piece, you can contact them by phone. You've got all their information correct.
Yeah. So database management has become big business. And what's happened over the years is, back in my day, 30 years ago, and through the last 30 years, I've seen it all. I've seen digital databases come into vogue, and then slowly over time, technology has just got better and better and better and better. And now, for something like $20 a month, you can have the Rolls Royce of CRMs, customer relationship management. No longer are they just an Excel spreadsheet database shenanigans. Mind you, some of us still have that. But, you know, there are now places you can migrate your data and start really utilising that data properly through reporting and just through offering great customer service. Our last episode was about customer service, and we were talking about VIP programs, membership programs, all these things you can't do without a database, without a serious piece of technology. Now, we know for you guys who are not techno savvy, or you're a bit of a techno retard, you know, you know, it scares you when you hear that word CRM. But it doesn't need to be hard. It doesn't need to be difficult. What it needs to be is just a commitment from you. A commitment from today, you begin the rest of your life. And from now on, you enter data properly and comprehensively. And if you do that, every year your database will get more and more valuable, and more slick, and you'll be able to get more and more out of it. And you'll be able to segment your market, you'll be able to look at what products sold the most. And these days, accounting packages and CRMs emerge. So you're really getting that, you should be getting that financial piece as well as the data piece all in one system. So let's talk about systems for a second. Jo, back in the day, what were you working on?
In my old job, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the systems that we used to have, it's very important to have, even back then, a client database done probably closer to the lines of the Excel spreadsheet. But it was important because if we wanted to do a mail out or had a newsletter that we were sending out, we needed to have the accurate information. The accounting was sort of synced in somewhat in the business that I worked in, but it was very fragmented still. But at a glance, you could still look up a customer or a client and see what was their last engagement with us, how was it billed, was it done on retainer, was it done as a project base or a one-off. So there was still the overview to be able to know how to manage that client, how to appeal to that client through contact if we had any projects coming up or exhibitions or anything where we wanted to invite them to. We know we could segment our clients down into groups that certain projects would be appropriate for them. It was very clunky back in the, you know, that was about 5-6 years ago. It was quite clunky. Things have streamlined a lot now, that you can have systems where you can quite easily pull up the information on your clients and be able to see at a glance across overview of where they sit within purchases, where they sit within the dynamic groups that you may want to appeal to them in certain ways, depending whatever your business or service is. It is very simplistic now to put it together. It's just, if you don't know what you don't know, we're here to guide you into what may be the best process or systems for your particular business.
Our philosophy, don't you agree, Jo, is all about simplicity. I mean, we
Yes.
don't want to make it any worse than it already is.
Oh.
So a couple of things I suggest. If you only need a simple database, what we do is we put our clients' websites on a product called Wix, Wix.com. And inside Wix is actually a very good engine. And they have you can put all your data in there. So they've got a CRM system embedded inside of it. And you can even group things. They call it tabs. Oh, sorry, no, they call it labels. So you
Yes.
label your client different things so that when you want to have you only want to send it to that group, then you've used your labels correctly. So it's worth spending the time labeling your clients properly so that you can grab them all as a group. Now, inside Wix, I love it because you can export that data anytime you like. So that data is yours. And if you do grow and develop and need something more sophisticated, then you can export that data out and then migrate it away. So it is your data. The other thing it does is you can do email marketing inside of Wix. So you can use your data to send out a newsletter inside your website system. Can you see? We love systems that does lots of things. And Wix.com is one of those systems that does a lot of things inside one system, because for you guys as business people, you don't need complications. You don't need more systems. You don't need lots of processes. Imagine if you could have your business all in one place. And Wix is kind of seriously really offering that. So that's why I'm a huge fan. Excuse me, I declare my bias straight away. I'm a huge fan. And even the other day, I noticed a major update from Wix. They have now added membership plans. They've got a membership site. You've got, some incredible innovations. And that's the beauty of something like Wix.com. Because that market is so competitive, they are really wanting to be a one-stop shop for small businesses. So, they have a vested interest on staying, really relevant and offering as much as possible, because quite frankly, their pricing now, without the 50% discount, they always offer you a 50% discount when you sign up. So make sure you get that in your first year. But after that, it's sort of sitting around $300 to $400 a year for your entire website. But inside that price, you've got your entire database management, your CRM. You've got your entire email marketing included, and then the list goes on. So just think about, what are you spending, or what are people saying you need to spend on all these different products? And does that save you money by going to something like Wix and having it all under one roof? I believe for $400 a year to run your whole business is a pretty good deal. Plus, they will update and always be improving. So, So anyway, I'll get off my high horse about that. But I get extra passionate about it. Anyway,
that's totally true. Wix are fantastic, and they do offer training for people once they've signed up with the website and you've got your website created. They're constantly evolving, and they're doing little training segments for people to keep them informed of their new systems or easier ways. Would you like to learn a different way that you could do that, as well as what about run a campaign? So they give you good guidance whilst you're working with them.
Absolutely.
They're brilliant.
And for us at Fiddly Things, we love to set it all up for you so that it's all there. And then we only teach you what you need to do day to day just to maintain it. And it's not complicated. The reason we don't recommend WordPress is WordPress, you're almost beholden to a $75 an hour technologist to maintain and keep everything up to date and connected. And it's a little bit scary and a little bit complicated for most business owners. So we bring you into Wix, we set it all up for you, we do all the technical background, but then we teach you how to send an email, how to add in your database, how to do this, how to do a blog, blah, 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 blah. Everything's included. Now, moving on from Wix, I want to also recommend having your CRM database and your accounting package as one. Now, most of you would have gone to something like Xero, MyOb, QuickBooks, all of those sort of ones. But these days, the database people have come up through the ranks and said, we too can do accounting. So what's going to happen is I would say Xero and MyOb are just going to get better at CRMing. Otherwise, they're going to lose the business. But though Xero is my favourite there. I just think Xero is fantastic. But there's something better now. It's called rounded.com. And they are an Australian company. So we're all for Australian companies. We love innovators. And rounded.com is a great option for when you want your database and your accounting system. And it's great for solopreneurs. It's been specifically designed for solopreneurs, freelancers, you know, those sort of more simple businesses. Please check out Rounded. Their system blew my mind. And I am so glad that June 30th is coming up soon because I am biting the bit ready because I like to start things fresh. So I'm waiting for the 1st of July to open up my website. And when I do that, I'll be happy and happily with Rounded. And also too for Fiddly Things. Fiddly Things will be on Rounded as well.
Yes, definitely. Got it all ready to go.
And it's only like $20 a month. And I tell you what, you will go and get a demonstration. Actually, you can call a person and you can actually speak to an Australian and get actual customer service from them. So please do that because enjoy that. We don't have that very often anymore with our suppliers. So anyway, Rounded is standing by. They really want to do great things in Australia and globally. And to do that, they need support. And so I wouldn't recommend anything that I didn't think was red hot. These guys will get you so excited. You'll be so horny for the whole weekend.
Totally agree.
All right, so that's Rounded. Now there's another one that I would like. So, you know, I want you to go and do your homework, do your due diligence, see what you prefer. And I don't want to just give you one option. I really think it's fair to give you a few options, but options that you perhaps are not aware of. And so the third and final option that I would recommend is Quidity. I know it's an odd name. It's Quid, Q-U-I-D-D-I-T-Y app, app.com. And if you go to their website, and again, Australian invention, incredible end-to-end CRM accounting system, $20 a month, amazing. I became an ambassador for them and I loved it so much. I really did. The minute I saw it, I knew this was hot to trot. And since then I've learnt about Rounded. So again, that I'm on the bandwagon there, but I'm just when I was about to go full on into Quidity and Rounded, Wix upgraded their CRM and just took it to the next level. So I didn't really have the need to recommend to my clients, not my small clients, these other products. So just bear that in mind that if you really are small and you're doing your accounting in Excel still, and it's pretty basic, you don't need Quidity or Rounded. But if you are a more sophisticated business, then you need an accounting system. You may as well get something that's Australian, that you can make a call to, that are there to fix it, and they too will evolve over time. But Wix is good enough for the littlies, and then the next level up is you've got to have Rounded or look into Quidity. And then we can go into way more sophisticated products. Now, what's happening with the database industry, the CRM industry, is they're starting to collide with marketing. So if you want to have an exploration around bringing your marketing into your CRM, the best one on the market at the moment is Kartra. Kartra.com. American company, but geez, this wipes out a lot of big businesses. So since Kartra's come, the marketing people. So let me just get your head around this. This is a real Fiddly Things. And it's a real fiddly thing. So quite often marketing, because there's so many touch points, we call this sort of like a sales funnel. And so at the beginning of the funnel, your customer or your prospect sees something, let's say, on Facebook, and they click on something. Well, Kartra grabs that information and then sends them to the next spot. And you can create these touch points and move your customers through the database, giving them more and more value as they do certain behaviours. You might have heard the term click funnels. Yeah. There's actually a company called clickfunnels.com.
Yeah, there is.
You can kind of go down that way, totally. And they are like a cult, those guys. Into that community, you are just going to be in there for life, talking about ClickFunnels for your whole lifetime. But since then, Kartra's come. And so I think Kartra is just going, their system is amazing. It's simple, good support, good price point, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into the details of it. Just you do your own research. But it's another one of those things that Joe and I love. We love all-in-one systems.
Yes.
Kartra could end up being your all-in-one marketing system that houses your database. So you only need one database. As long as you've got one, it doesn't matter. Which system do you want? What do you need for your business? And if you're a big marketing ClickFunnel type business, then Kartra is for you. If you don't need all that, then obviously Rounded and Quiddity will handle things for you. And then if you are Wix, with Wix, you can actually do some automation inside Wix. So the ClickFunnels and the automations, you can build simple ones. It's not as exciting as Kartra, sure, but you can see some automations, and when people do certain behaviours, they can get that downloadable or they can be sent to that site or whatever. So Wix is there. They just don't want to make it too complicated.
And that's great, Katrina, too, because you're spot on that we can have a look at how someone's currently sitting in the market within their own business, whether they are micro, single person, whether they are small business, and just have a look at how they're going, what they're looking at as their long-term plan, and assess it for them, and then know the different streams, as you've just mentioned, that are available to them. So it's quite easy for us to have a look at it for you and assess for you what's the best way for you to go. And to know already, as you've just outlined, the different systems that could be appropriate depending on your size of your business and what your long-term sales and marketing options are.
Yeah, remember, we've got our eye on technology. That's what Fiddly Things is all about. So that's why we've used this episode to bring you up to date with some of the latest exciting developments in the database space. But if you come to us with, oh my God, I'm with MyOb, I know MyOb, I'm staying with MyOb, don't move me, I'm doing that, we of course will work within that system, and we will make sure that, number one, you're getting your value out of that system. We will make sure that you are linked with your other systems. So that's the problem, is integration. There's no point in having a database over there in isolation. These days, everything needs to be talking to everything. And so what you'll find with most systems is they are integrated or able to be integrated, and they're able to talk to one another. So just before we go and wrap up this episode, I will talk to you about one exciting development called Zapier. Z-A-P-I-E-R. Now, this is an integration machine. So it takes all your machines that you're using, all your systems and all your processes, and it plays together with all of them and makes sure that that then sends that to that, and then that gets sent to that, and then that gets put into that, and then your database gets updated. Can you see? Zapier is about integrating your world. So it doesn't really matter what you've got and what you think you're wedded to. What Joe and I are about is making sure that that's the right product for what you need, And if you need a bit of coaxing away from old technology, we will do that gently. Or not so gently. We're quite willing to tear you away from something new. We will protect you from your own systems and processes. That's our job as consultants to do that. But just plant that little Zapier seed and do some little due diligence. Again, don't go in and learn the whole system. Just go in and see what's available these days. You're never going to be complete nerdy geeks like us who love this stuff. But at least go and have a little look-see and just watch a quick video to see what does it do, why is that important, and how does that apply to me? They're the questions you want to be asking. And so back to you, Jo. Thanks for another great episode. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Katrina. And look, simplicity and integration, I think, are the key words that you've put forward there today. And it's so true. If we can get a way to help people get their business synced up, parallel with exactly what they want, and we know the systems that we can offer to give them guidance on how they might want to put it together. And that's great. And thank you very much for discussing all that. I'm sure that's you've made some very clear points for everybody.
Love that word. Let's sync you up with your fiddly things. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.